A lot. They're gonna love you a lot.
Success! Pudding!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man we've all been waiting for. And waiting for. That man is Marcus the Motivator.
G'day guys, it's Marcus the Motivator. Today I am here with the duet musicians and artists, K&R. How are you guys?
Hi, good, thank you. How are you?
Very, very good.
That's good.
Today we just want to hear about what you guys do and how you guys got to where you are. So the first question I want to ask both of you is, what was the motivation behind singing and performing in music to start with? Where did it all start for both of you?
All right, well, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
You go.
All right, well, it's kind of funny how we got together in the sense of in music because when we first started, we were really pursuing individual careers in the performing arts. And then one day we just got the opportunity to perform together. And just, it's crazy how when something works, opportunities just start to kind of arise a little bit.
Yep.
And so we found that really interesting. So we decided to really start to pursue that. And so once we started to actively seek out all of our opportunities, kind of just, it's just grown, which has been really great. And so I think that has kind of become a real motivator in the sense that we didn't start doing this because we were seeking wealth or seeking any kind of fame out of it.
Yep.
It was just, we were just pursuing what we liked doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why it's become a bit successful, which is good.
Yeah, that's the bottom line really. We like music, so we just started playing together, and it sort of just happened really. We didn't think too much about it. We just said yes to opportunities that came up, and now we're where we are, which is cool.
And you're pretty much just basically enjoying playing. So how did you get into music to start with, each of you?
My dad's an ex-muso, so there's music in our family for generations. We're forced all kids. So I got two brothers, and we all played piano when we were 5, and then we could choose our instruments after that. We had to do grade 2 piano, I think. So I chose guitar, and I've been playing since I was 6 or 7 years old. So it's just happened. It's been my life, really.
That's awesome.
Yourself?
I started off through school, really. So we when I was in about grade 2 or 3, we had the local theatre company come down to our school and say, they were doing Oliver, so they needed a kids chorus.
Yep.
And so I thought, that sounds cool, I'll give that a go. And so got up on stage as a 11-year-old and just loved it. And so then I started pursuing music from there, and started singing lessons and joined more choirs and got involved at school and stuff, and it kind of blossomed from there.
So for music for both of you, is it something that's kind of just developed from like a childhood kind of thing, and you've just grown and done more? What kind of influences have you had? I think you said your dad was a muso, but what have been like some of the influences that you've had like along the way, each of you, that have got you to where you are today?
Influences. Do you got any?
So many. Well, it's, as a guitarist, you watch loads of famous guitar players. Yep. I played just guitar, whatever, like basic guitar chords and whatever, till year 11, and I got asked to play in a big band at school.
Yep.
So I started playing jazz music, which is a whole new world of guitar. It's crazy. So jazz music and blues music started to influence how I played. So players like B.B. King and Eric Clapton.
Yep.
And there's so many to name. But B.B. King especially, I remember watching some of his concerts and being blown away. So he's definitely a big influence in my playing.
Are there any as you said, as you just said then, there were some differences playing like the guitar jazz-wise. Talk about like how that is different compared to say what normal musicians might learn just playing the guitar to start with.
Yeah.
Is that it? What are the challenges like that in itself?
The biggest challenge with jazz music specifically is you have to be able to read music.
Yep.
Which I don't know the statistic, but most guitar players don't read music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you'd be amazed. It's like over 90% or something ridiculous. And that's, I think, partly because lots of people can just play the guitar and know a few chords and whatever. But jazz music is sheet music, and it's part of a big band, and you've got to be tuned correctly and all all that stuff, and you've got to play as part of a sort of almost an orchestra rather than just a guitarist. So it's the challenge in that is being able to read the music and interpret the music, and being able to fit in with all the other instruments that are around. Whereas like stuff we do, I'm the sole instrument, so I can get away with doing what I want a little bit more. Yeah.
So how has it been? How long have you guys been performing together for now?
Since April, so that's about
So it's not even a year, but how has that been? How has that been working together for both of you guys? Like how does it come that you just suddenly get together and start performing? Like is it just suddenly you two just meet somewhere and start talking and then realise that you want to, how does that thing kind of happen?
Yeah, pretty much. We kind of met through uni, and I was a singer and he was a guitarist. We'd like had jokes about playing together, and then we saw an ad for an open mic.
Yep. We
were like, that would be perfect, but it's kind of, you don't really want to turn up to an open mic as just a solo guitarist and a singer with backing vocals, so we teamed up, and we just got really good reviews from all of our friends and family and people in the crowd who came to watch, just saying how well we blended together and how our stage presence was quite good as a team.
Yep.
And that's something that just the stage presence is something that's really important.
Yep.
So that's really good feedback, and that's just where that kind of idea kind of sparked of like, wow, maybe we can pursue that as a career together.
So how did that feel then for like the two of you performing first time together? Was it just like, let's give this a go and see what happens, and then suddenly, okay, this is actually working? Like, how does that feel when you start performing, or for both of you, how does it feel when you're suddenly going from like pursuing like your solo separate things to then working together? What's that like for each of you?
It's interesting. It was cool because we played, it was 15-minute sets or whatever.
Yeah,
and
20
so we
minutes.
played 20 minutes, so it was about 5 songs.
Yep.
And the first time we played, so we had 5 songs and they were covers. I don't remember what we did. But then we got told through the competition we progressed to the next round that we had to, we didn't have to, but it was preferred if you had your own music.
Yep.
So we then went away and wrote some of our own music and wrote a few songs together. So it was just sort of rewarding to have a partner in music.
Yep.
Which are hard to find, people that you really get along with and you can gel with and write music with and play music with and have a good presence.
It's also just good because, you always go through your ups and your downs, and when you're by yourself, it can be very hard to kind of, when you reach a barrier, it can be hard to kind of overcome that by yourself. Whereas I find that we complement each other really well in the sense that like we can drive each other at the points where we need to drive each other. We can support each other at the times we need to support each other.
Yep.
And then, because we know when we're on stage, there's 2 of us. It's not just, it kind of alleviates a bit of the pressure, which is nice. Yeah. It's teamwork.
Well, how has that teamwork gone so far since April? Has it had its challenges, or has it been relatively smooth sailing?
It's been pretty breezy, really.
Yeah.
We sort of, we work well with each other. We both have things that we're particular about.
Yep.
And most of the time they coincide with things the other person isn't particular about.
Yep.
So things when we're editing videos or recording music, I'm less picky with the quality, but like I can't get it past Kitty, we've got to do it 13 times. So it's like things like that, but it means my music quality is of a higher standard when we record because I'm recording with Kitty. And other things, I don't know what I do, but yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you did like covers and stuff when you performed to start with. And have you now written your own music, obviously, when you've performed? How is that like going from when you started together doing covers to then actually writing stuff together? How is that challenge? How was that? Was that more fun, or was it a challenge like working off it? Like how was that working together to come up with your own music?
I found it really rewarding because I think personally, like it would have been harder for me to write my own music and have the confidence to put it out there.
Yep.
And so by having the 2 of us, like it's kind of a safe space to share ideas. So I can show Ryan something and he'll tell me if it's crap or he'll tell me if it's good and we should continue working on it. And it's nice because like my music skills aren't too strong. Like I can't really play the guitar. So if I create like a song with a melody, he can fit chords behind it and nice guitar backings to it that sounds really good. And we argue over lyrics and just like just all this. It's just nitpicking the songs, and it's just like having 2 perspectives really just helps shape the work in a way that makes it so much more enjoyable and so much more, like, it's just poignant. It's, yeah.
Yeah, adding to that as well, the thing about music I find, and your own music specifically, is it's really, I don't know what's the word, it's like unnerving, or it's scary to release your own music because it's such a personal thing, and people are always judging music, and if it's your music, like they're judging you, and this is a part of you that you've sort of created.
Well, how does that feel? Like, people are actually judging the music and the work you're doing. Like, how's that making you guys feel? Like, collectively and probably individually, how's that making you guys feel?
Yeah, well, it's when it goes well, it's rewarding. When it goes badly,
it's terrifying.
It's terrifying. But
we're lucky it hasn't gone badly too much for us. But it's just like, as I said, like, individually, I probably wouldn't have gone out on that limb because it's just scary. Whereas it's nice having the two of us, because if it does go badly, it's not just on my own head. It's kind of where we're both in it together. So
you don't think you would have been able to do something like this by yourself without his... Why do you say that? Why didn't you think you would have been able to do that by yourself?
I think it would have taken me longer. I think we just, in the way that Ryan said earlier, that we just complement each other in the ways that we could push each other in times when we need pushing. I think if I was by myself, I wouldn't have pushed myself at those times where songs were just on the cusp of being able to be performed. So in that sense, like, we really worked as a team to build the songs to a point where we were really proud of them. So when we did release them, it was a bit more comfortable because we thought they were all right.
Yep.
Yeah. The other thing as well is sort of experience is your best practice and the best way to get better. So when there's two of us, we can sort of find like double the amount of opportunities. So simple things, even like playing at your uncle's birthday party or whatever, things that seem a little bit like, why do you do that? Like, it's a bit unnecessary or whatever. But yeah, we have double the opportunities together. Whereas if it's just me, I've only got my set of contacts to perform to. Whereas so we can perform basically double the amount of time.
So what's the plan for you guys? So how are things going for you guys at the moment? You've obviously recorded your own and done your own stuff recently. What's the plan going forward for the next year or so? Like,
we're our current aim. We're striving to get on cruise ships, cruise ship entertainers. So we're in talks with some agencies and stuff. So that's hopefully should come through in the next month or two. That we'll be able to travel the world and play music and spread our joy across lots of different cultures, which will be really cool. Yeah. And we're hoping that will give us time as well to just write more music and hopefully get an album out eventually. So you're
obviously striving to get an album out for your own. Yeah. How would that feel if that does eventuate? Like, how would that because that's obviously another step. That's obviously another step from singing in your own stuff. You're actually then releasing. Yeah. How are you thinking about doing something? How are you guys thinking about doing something like that?
Yeah, it's a scary thought, and I know how much work goes into that. But yeah, we're sort of setting ourselves up to give us the opportunity to do it in the best way possible, I feel.
Yeah.
So it's less scary because we're organised about it, I feel.
Yep.
I feel like the way we've worked over the last couple of months has been really good because we've taken all of the right little baby steps. So when we've kind of turned around, we've been like, wow, look how far we've come.
So talk about some of those steps that you've taken over the last few months. Like, what have you done to keep slowly improving and talk about some of those? What have you done?
Well, probably some of the main points was we really took a big emphasis on networking.
Yep.
So we've been to a lot of all of the open mics and stuff that we've performed at. We make sure that we're there early to watch other people and just chatting to people about their careers and what they've, contacts that have helped them and all of that.
Yeah, and it's little things like that get you more gigs as well.
Yep.
So you end up playing a gig with someone you met at an open mic, and it's weird how networking is this industry is built on it. Yeah, that's a super important one.
Yeah.
So, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
And I was just gonna say, just that constant actively pursuing opportunities. We've never really kind of just sat back and let things come to us as much. We've always still been pushing and talking to people and meeting new people and seeing what those doors can open for us. I think that's really important.
Yeah. So you're obviously pursuing opportunities, and you said you're going to go and try and perform overseas and whatnot. How are you looking forward to those opportunities? Like, what's your feelings towards maybe doing things like that, taking what you're doing overseas or into completely different environments? How are you feeling about maybe those kinds of opportunities coming?
It's just super exciting. I'm excited by it. It's like it has its scary aspect of it. It's like we'll be in a foreign place, probably, and to people we don't know, and there won't be a family support there or friend support there.
Yep.
So we know people are enjoying it, or will at least tell us they are.
Yeah.
So that's a scary aspect of it. But from what we've heard so far and the development we've had together, we feel like we're at a place where we're good enough to be able to succeed with what we want to do. So it's just exciting to sort of take the next step into being real full-time musicians.
How much do you think the confidence that you have together kind of comes out in your performances?
Oh, lots.
Yep.
It's crazy watching us from the beginning to us now.
Yep.
Just how much more, like, there's just so much more passion there.
Yep.
Like the more we're developing, we're learning more and more about performing. We're learning more and more about ourselves and how we respond. Like, because the further you get into a music career, the more you kind of, it's not all kind of like great gigs anymore.
Yep.
You do have the bad gigs and some gigs that you're just like, I just wish this was over. But we've come to the point now where we can really like push through them and still have a really good time in ourselves. And as long as we're enjoying ourselves, it seems that the audience is enjoying ourselves, which is enjoying themselves, which is great. Yeah.
So what is some of the work that you guys have done previously before you got together?
Oh, we're both music theatre kids.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
musicals basically. We were both studying theatre at Monash when we met.
Yep.
And so musicals have been Oliver and Anything Goes and a few others.
Yeah, it was mostly just high school stuff because we met pretty close out of high school, first year uni. So just lots of productions through school and lots of different music.
So this kind of thing, going out at it on your own together is pretty much your first time having a crack.
Yeah, it is.
Is that a bit scary, when you're out there by yourself, and is it like
It's terrifying, but it's also great because it's kind of like I can see how we're becoming quite like young adults through this process.
Yep.
We've really matured a lot, and we've just like the professional nature that we've kind of found over the last couple of months is just, I think that's another reason why we're getting opportunities and stuff. Just like, our hard work is starting to pay off, which is nice.
How much have you learned about yourselves as people going through this over the last, since you guys started working together? Like, how much have you learned about yourselves just growing and doing what you're doing, and just each time you perform? How much have you learned about how you've got to network with people and how you've, like, the way you go about performing? How much of those experiences like taught you?
So we sort of touched on it before. We complement each other with our strengths and our weaknesses. So really, it becomes apparent what Kitty's really good at and what I'm really good at. But then where we cross over and where I might be strong at something but Kitty's not, or vice versa. So with the networking thing, for example, Kitty's awesome at networking, and like just talks to everyone. And I'm more of a like, I'll just sit in the corner and eat my chips. So it's little things like that where I realise that maybe a weakness of mine is the networking thing and being able to approach people and just talk to people.
Do you reckon that's something you might be able to get him out doing a bit more of
I
down
wouldn't
the
have
track?
said that you're bad at networking. I would have thought you were okay. It's funny because because we both kind of have been busy because we're full-time students as well through uni semesters. So there's been times like over the last couple of weeks where I've been completely pretty much unavailable. But Ryan's had to take all the calls and do all the emails and all that kind of thing. So I think you've come a long way. In the sense of that. Yeah.
Are you learning to come out of your shell a bit more?
Yeah, that's it.
that?
And it's, I don't know, you stand next to Kitty and she does all the talking, so it's pretty easy. But it is that, and there's lots of things that not just the networking, but the recording thing that we touched on earlier. It's like maybe I'm a little bit lazy in this area, so it's learning that maybe in future if I'm recording solo or with other people that's not Kitty, to I'm learning not to be as lazy and to be a bit more picky and what things to be picky on.
Are you excited about what's going to happen?
So excited. Can't even tell you how excited. No, we're just really excited at the prospect of just being hired as professional musicians.
Yep.
And like the fact that we're talking to these agencies and they see us as professional as musicians as well, which is just awesome in the sense that, you know, a year ago we just left high school and we're just starting out as uni students and a music career, and now we've really kind of grown to that point where we really can establish ourselves as musicians.
Have you got that belief within you guys that you're actually now professional musicians? Has it really?
I think it's starting to sink in a
Has
little
it
bit.
actually sunk in yet?
Well, no, it's all just been fun for now.
Yeah.
Like, we've just been having fun. But
Yeah.
I feel like if we land that contract
It'll
and
sink in a
we're
bit more.
considered full-time musicians in
Yep.
the contract and we're working every day as musicians, it'll either sink in quickly or we'll just not have any time to think.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's sunk in yet that we are working musicians within an industry.
Yep.
And we've sort of built our own business. And
Yeah. It hit me that we'd started our own business when I went back to my high school to watch one of my sister's shows and was just talking to the teachers, and they were just asking me about what I've been doing.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, you know, whipped out a business card, showed them what we were doing, and they went around, you know, saying, oh, look, Kitty started a business. And it's like, wow, like I'd never considered us as a business before because it's just we take so much enjoyment from it, and I guess other people take enjoyment from it as well, but it's just always been something that we've done just because we love it. So to think that we've started a business from that and are really getting exciting opportunities through that, it's just really cool. And I'm just really grateful for every person that's helped us and every opportunity that we've had. And for you, you've done well too.
Well, that's pretty good to hear. So
Yeah.
do you think then, like, when you're going to be performing as professionals then, well, obviously, like, it's clear to see that you guys enjoy performing, like that just comes out and resonates with what you do. Do you think then, well, it's basically going to mean you're going to enjoy what you're doing for the rest of your life then, if it's something you're going to continuously keep enjoying doing?
yeah, well, that's the sort of threat, is that maybe one day we wake up and we don't enjoy it because we've been doing it so much.
Yep.
But where we're at now, it's so much fun. Like, we could do it for the rest of our lives, I feel. But you never know when you're going to wake up next morning feeling like.
I feel like it's also that the way we've been doing it is just, it's so dynamic in what we can do.
Yep.
Like we can write music, we can play covers, we can maybe even venture into music theatre one day and start writing some music theatre or something like that. Like I feel like there's just so many different opportunities to do that, as long as we like not overwork ourselves to the point where we lose that love for it. I think we can really get some really cool lifelong things out of it.
And we do have a list of things we want to achieve.
Yeah.
Like we want to write a musical one day and record an album and go on a cruise ship and tour the world, like sort of things like that. And do tours. We've never done a tour before.
Yeah.
Just, we're thinking of planning one, just like things to keep it new and keep it exciting.
Yep.
And we have so many things we want to do. So until we tick everything off the list, I feel like it'll always remain exciting.
So you think so having those goals that you've set, that's what's keeping the passion and drive going, at least pretty much for the moment, because you just want to put yourself in new situations to perform and just have these experiences that you haven't had, and just see what it's like and see how you react and how you enjoy it pretty much.
Yeah, we're just both quite ambitious people, so I think as long as we keep that ambitious streak, and we're both working towards things that we both like making compromises and knowing that we're both getting enjoyment out of it, I think we'll really, we can go a fair way, hopefully, get some success out of it.
I think one of the best things is that so long as you continue enjoying what you're doing and you enjoy the ride along playing the music you enjoy doing, so long as you do that, so long as you keep doing that, then that's when I think the passion comes out, and that's when the motivation continues, where motivation to want to continue to do it keeps doing it. Now, I think you were saying before you had like a wide variety of things that you were looking at, so like not just playing music but also like theatre and musicals and stuff. Do you think that's something you'll look at further down the track, or is that one? So you'll basically start now and branch out further down.
Yeah, so we're talking about it on the way here. We sort of have the K&R thing at the moment.
Yep.
And maybe one day go into like K&R productions and go into more music theatre or like music for movies or just whatever. We can explore so many things, and because we're both theatre kids, we met in the theatre course. We love live theatre and music theatre. So it's definitely an interest of both of ours that we'd love to branch out into one day.
Because I feel our passion extends as well further than music. It's the whole kind of performing arts industry of like Ryan's got a dance background, I've got a theatre background. Like we've got so many options and so much knowledge between us that it's just really exciting, I think.
There's some of those other arts that you have, like the dancing and the performing. Is that something you may want to incorporate in some of your performances, or are you just going to stick to?
For us, I think we stick to the music. We like what we're doing. It's hard to dance while you're holding But it definitely is, and like potentially one day further down the track, if we expand and go into sort of bigger things, then our backgrounds obviously will help build whatever we want to build. If it's theatre, sort of a dance background will help in finding those dance contacts that you might need, and singing contacts we've got over here. So
Well, I think everyone's looking forward to seeing how you guys go, especially in the near future and down the track. So to everyone out there, these guys here, K&R, they have big dreams about what they want to do. So we look forward to seeing how you guys perform going forward and seeing what adventures you get up to. K&R, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So where can we hear about you guys? Where can we find out about your music and information? How can we see what you're doing?
Basically, all of the social medias we've kind of got. So we primarily use Facebook.
Yep.
So you can find us at facebook.com/Kitty and Ryan.
Yep.
Or type in K&R music and we generally pop up.
We'll come to a gig and
come to a
talk
gig.
to us.